thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time we do the impossible. It felt like yesterday, I was just driving my grandma's Chevrolet from South Carolina to Maryland. I take the jet today. I'm still on the come up, I'm still building my resume.
Winter is just around the corner as you get a look at Highmark Stadium just south of Buffalo, New York. Today we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Buffalo Bills. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. On 2nd and 11 now. Allen. And able to find Allen Lazard. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A big play here for Buffalo. 53 yards. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed they went right into the game plan, attack them early, see if they're going to play any better. And if not, you keep the pressure on them until things change.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. And the Bills hit 9-3 here on the year. And Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Allen now looks to throw. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14. But looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he works free. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy set the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. The tackle was by the Boston College product, Harold Landry. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. On the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. He'll drop to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Davante Adams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders have taken the early lead on the road here in Buffalo. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
A 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen. Pass to Lazard, bringing it in on the crossing route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. To throw, it's Allen. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Haven't met a corner that's worth his salt yet that ever admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Allen to throw it. Got a man, that's Lazard. He's at the 40. 20. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Paul on a give up the middle. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Paul again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Breece Hall with career touchdown number 75. And the Bills are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
I'm really not sure what was more impressive about that throw. Was it the distance traveled or the accuracy involved? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're trying to hit a guy in stride that far downfield, there's nothing easy about it, but he sure made it look easy there.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. 7-7, our score after 1. Good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
They'll try and run for it, and it's a fumble. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. Jalen Johnson up to make the tackle.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Allen. This pass out wide to Hall. Room here to run. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
Yeah, he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into first down and then some. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll give to Hall. And some room to work. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Breece Hall with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Bills have taken the lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So that run there, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And that's why he's one of the best running backs in the game today, because this run combined all the elements. Started with patience, and he was just waiting for the right lane to materialize. Then once he saw it, he used his speed and escapability in tandem and turned this into a tremendous play.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run with Hall. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow! Knocked him for a loss.
So on fourth down, out is Tyler Bass in the Buffalo field goal unit. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
From just inside the 20, a short kick. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll look to throw here. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bills are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
From the 45 on second down, Allen. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Straight ahead is Hall. Down at the 35, it'll be second down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 8 yards to go on second down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. From the 35 on second down, Allen. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. Now they run the sweep as Allen just pops this forward. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on third down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on third down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track? And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Bills are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. A nightmare of the first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. So after the INT, it's Allen. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Allen going to throw. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Allen. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. The Bills send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very... And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the Bills are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
From midfield, here's Allen. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, you know me. Whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Allen. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And, oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Allen going to go on 4th down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
Now he's going to throw deep right side. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park with the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. From just inside the 20, a short kick, and able to get this out to the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Here's the Raiders punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now Hall to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Looking for a slot man, and he's got him. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
On 2nd and 12, Allen. And check down, complete to Hall. Finding space at the 40. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. Running left, it's Hall. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
They'll go again with Hall. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Now Allen. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 36. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 36. A handoff for Hall. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Give to Hall running right. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Able to find Lazard. Touchdown Bills. Alan Lazard, 28 yards. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
2nd and 2. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And some space here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And fortunately, he's able to get this one back, so it is a 1st down. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And the pass complete to Waller on the out route. And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
This offense so far on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run with Hall. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to be ridden out of bounds down inside the 25. 145 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
They run it with Hall off the option. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Josh Allen keeping it himself from 5 yards out. And the Bills look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here this fourth quarter. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Able to find Walter. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Back to throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. And a stoppage here. A timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll look to throw again. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Takes it at the 7. And they're going to have very poor field position as he's out of bounds at his 7-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they haven't had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Hall again. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. And he's going to be met at about the 43. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
He finds some open field here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 202 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Called it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. To throw is Allen. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little land, yeah, a little extra on top.
So it's a win here for the